this is Andrew from C1D Paintball. This video is another of a series of games played just after Christmas with family members and a group of rental friends. Connor played on one side with me on the other to guide our teammates as we were veterans of this field. Our starting points had blue on the west side of the map at the graveyard, with red at the east at South Barrels. For the second floor game type, I feel the east has an advantage because of the better vantage points from the second floor, and better cover to move between those points. But with blue having an additional player, it made things a little more even. For this game, I had to factor in the regular tactic on the two-floor game type, as well as the fact there were new players. Why factor in new players? Well, consider this was the first game of the day where the players were allowed to go to the second floor. Like clockwork, when new players get to play on the top floor, they all go on the top floor. Now, the setup on this field on the second floor has its own safe areas and danger zones. But the reality is, unless one team gets really careless, it's rare that one team wipes the other team when all the players are on that higher level. In fact, that usually leads to a rather dull stalemate when nobody plays on the floor. I've assumed that Connor and his team fan out evenly across his front line and have 3 players on top and 2 players on the floor. Those players on the floor would be positioned both north and south to stop any rush and ideally for themselves begin their own rush. Had the players all been more experienced, I would have guessed 3 on the floor and 2 on the second floor. It doesn't sound like a big difference, but with 3 on the floor it allows mobility to flank and trap any opponents on the top floor, if you play it right, of course. But as I mentioned, with so many new players, I was thinking it would be 3 on top. So basically, I'm saying my strategy here is that the team who would be able to get control of the ground floor would be in a good position to win. The hurdle, of course, is those of the high ground have an advantage over someone on the floor. There were so many new players here, their lack of experience may make the players risking it on the floor a little less dangerous had it been experienced players shooting from on top. An experienced player on each side of the field on the second floor could cover the entire no man's land between the 2 sides on their own. But with new players, just not as likely. So this is why I decided to have my 3 other teammates, all new players, take positions on the second floor and dig in, while I would be the sole guy on the ground level, engage how the flow of the game would start, and try to improvise.
Okay, 2 floors, right? You can't go in the back. Go in the front, go to the side. Rick! You gotta start down here. You 2 want to go up there and cover the right side? So go up. Yeah, but you gotta run like hell just when you come across the bridge. I'm gonna stay down. When you get up, you guys wanna go up there? You be smart. You go up here, then you just run in the middle, right in there, okay? I'm gonna stay on the floor. Guys, I'm gonna go on the floor. Talk to me. Tell me where they are, and I'll pick them up. What? You can stay here, just run right here. Coming up on the left. 1 on the left. Zach, there's a guy on the second floor right across, so if you go there, he's in the window right across from you, okay? You're gonna be my eyes here, and I'm gonna pick them off one by one. Talk to me, boys. Watch your face by the windows. What do you see, boys? Poke your heads. See him, bud? Where? Ah, okay. I got one pin behind garage. Take a peek around, boys. That's what you gotta do. One garage. You can go in here if you want these buildings.
Game over.
So as you saw during the game, I was really surprised that blue team went with 4 on top. Blue effectively overloaded one side of the top, which can work, but it also has high risks. By taking up this particular north side, it does give their players the option of retreating back to the ground floor more easily. But as the video showed, I was able to take the undefended path in the south and flank them. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not getting cocky here. I basically flipped a coin, as had I gone north, the blue player in the garage and the other 3 together on the second floor would have easily smoked me, and the game could have easily been won. No question, this was a fun game, and here's a little extra for you. You see, at LaSalle Paintball, when you play a scenario, it's traditional that the next game is the same setup with the team swapping sides. Well, you won't see a separate video of that round because of this.
If you gotta retreat.
Dragons!
Oh, hit, oh, no. I'm hit. I am gone.
That's right, seconds into the game, Connor does a Leroy Jenkins and takes me out. He then proceeds to smoke the rest of my team, taking the same route I did, but not wasting any time as I had done in the first round. Well, if you stuck around this far, thanks. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to grow the sport by taking the time to help out new players. Also like to ask you now, if you like this video, or at least appreciate the time it takes to make this, to give us a like, and if you think it merits a subscribe and share as well. No obligation, of course, but it only takes a couple seconds, and it's appreciated.